Welcome to Glorias Gab Live. I've been away for a while, and I have a lot of people to thank for filling in for me. Ferris Sachs was kind enough to do 3 shows for me, and Jenny Esqui with South Florida PBS. And speaking of South Florida PBS, they're our sponsors, and I am so happy every week they sponsor us and bring us people like Luis Valenzuela, who is my guest today. And he is the founder, the creator of our first shoe museum in Miami.
Correct.
And he's got some exciting things to show us, and we'll learn about the museum. And you found an actual location for it now.
Yep.
So thank you so much. Luis has a long history in art instruction.
Correct.
25 years in Venezuela, and then I don't know, you came to our shores and you worked miracles. Every time I run into you, it's another interesting event.
Yeah.
Even the recycled exhibition they did at International Mall.
Correct.
All of a sudden, Luis is there, and he made the most beautiful shoes out of recycled plastic, and nobody would believe that they were.
Yeah, that's the idea.
They were recycled shoes. Anyway, let's start with how you began this shoe museum road with one pair of shoes.
Well, the journal, I think my mom inspired me. Well, first, thank you, Gloria. I'm glad to be the first one after you recover. But I'm glad that people like you are supporting, a local initiative. But, well, yeah, like I say, my mom used to say that she likes to be in everybody's shoes.
Oh.
That's a metaphoric. So, but I'm an artist. I'm a fashion designer. So I always look for design, for colors. So I was looking at the face of the people and the shoes. And I don't know, something started since I was a child, like the relationship between how people express how they feel. So I always was curious about shapes and colors and all of that. So 17 years ago, I went to one of my friends' antique shop. And she had this shoe on top of a baby grand piano, right? And the whole set was so amazing, it was so beautiful. And I told her, like, I celebrate her design, skills. And I said, I love that. And I never saw somebody, combining those two. And she was like, you're so really into shoes. I mean, I'm not that time. I'm not, but I love, design. So when I left the store, she actually gave me this shoe. This is a 1920 button-up shoe.
Look at that.
My size, actually. So I was like, I'm so intrigued with that. So I started collecting. I started actually educating myself, getting books and then going to libraries and going to museums to learn a little bit more about design. And all of a sudden, I had 75 shoes. I was like, okay, so let me continue on that. So when I had 75, Art Miami, I was doing the Art of Fashion show at the Dream Art Center, and Art Miami wanted to sponsor one of the shoes during Basel. So, but they request 150 shoes. So I said, okay, depending on the budget, I can request from different museums and I can get collectors. So I got the 150 shoes, and we did the All About Shoes. That was the name of the show at the Adrian Art Center in 2014. So with the profit, I bought that collection. So I went to from 75 to 150 in 2 months.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And that's what the point. I was like, okay, I had to get serious in this because this had to come. So all the way, long story short, today it's more like 800 pieces, all the way from the 1400 until now. And we got really, really into getting the point, like, okay, we're getting requests from people from different institutions and different collectors to know about materials. So we're going to open the research center for the museum before we actually go to the big step of opening the museum, which is online already. People can check all the collection in there. But we're going to have the research center first.
And the research center, people come from all over the world can approach you and say, we've got this material or resource that can be used to make shoes.
Yeah, it's going to be for everybody. I mean, of course, it's going to be my membership only because we want people to actually get, check because the collection is really important in insurance and the whole thing. So people need to be part of it. They have to be a member, and the memberships are already online. You can check out the MiamiShoeMuseum.org. And the idea is to collect, for designers, let's say designers, right? That they want to get inspiration about something, so they can come to the research center and they can start looking at, what we have. And the fact that they can, of course, going to be on glass and all those things, but the fact that they can study, design from the originals, and that's amazing. But also, it's going to be a good group of networking people.
I would think so.
Yeah, so we got like doctors, lawyers that they want to network, because it's amazing how when I start talking about shoes, and Gloria, we've been in events,
right?
And people, they all have some kind of like story to tell about shoes. My grandma, my father, so I'm getting so many requests from people that want to visit. So I say I had to open something, before we go to the big step.
Right.
So yeah, that the research center is gonna be in downtown Miami. In Flagler, which is a beautiful location because Flagler was one of the founders, with Julia Toro. So it has another layer of history in the location that we're gonna be at. So it's gonna be all camera security. Again, it's gonna have to be checked and it's a lot of. So every 2 months we're gonna do exhibitions in there. So we open the vault.
Yeah.
Because the area, there's a lot of jewel. And those are part of the, So.
Yeah. That's so cool. So we have a video that you sent me that will explain a lot.
Yeah.
So Rachel, our producer, thank you so much for helping us out today. Here we go.
Since 2010, Miami Shoe Museum, MSM founder Luis Valenzuela,
the shoes that you're looking at, the first one that you saw was
representing his
from
vision.
the 1400s.
Valenzuela's
And we have shoes from all over the place. So whatever designer you name it after the 1800s, which is the time that the outdoors and the creators had the name on it. But before, they were just like design. But they're ergonomic, so it started as a need. The shoe. But after, when you get to the different point, like that one is Ferragamo when he started. That was for Viva in the 17th. So we have Schiaparelli. You name it.
Oh my God.
We also have Perugia. Perugia, that's the design inspired by Picasso. But Perugia, nobody talks about him because he was a designer that he worked for all their designers. And he has kind of like I guess, I don't know, I never met him, of course, but his personality, I think he was like a child designer. So he actually had all the rights to all the designers to work with. So that's Louis Vuitton, that's Kei Kagami, he's a Japanese designer. Zaha Hadid, we studied Zaha Hadid actually as an architect. She collaborated with different designers based on her design. So we have Alexander McQueen, we have, that's another Zaha Hadid. Wow. That shoe was a sample, that's Zaha Hadid again. Oh my God, it's Alexander McQueen, that's Dolce & Gabbana. There are different collaborations between designers that I like to collect. Why? Because they also tell about the social impact. Yeah. So, that's Melissa. Melissa is a super cool materials that we work with. And we work, we had designers that they actually got award because of whatever they create, like Julian Hack. So this shoe that you have here, they call the mojito shoe. So it sounds like it's like the twist of the lemon, right? But he actually created this by wrapping his foot and just stepping into a paper to see where the support was. And Perugia did that in the early 19th. So again, when you talk about the food, it's everybody gets inspirations by either the anatomy or the design or the shape or whatever. So we had, like this one got an award with Stuart for the material for the wedding shoes, and this is a unique technique that he could develop. So, but it's Chopin talking about the 1700, right? So we had shoes from Turkey from the 1400, right? And those were platforms that you saw on the video. Yeah. From there, they went to, the courtesans actually. They always want to have status, so they brought it from Turkey. They brought from Italy to Italy, and those were the Chopin. So I asked one artist, Jan in Venezuela, to do a replica of the 1700 shoe, and he did exactly the same. That's the Chopin. Mm-hmm. And this is leather, but the idea was to have something that to show people, not only talk, but sometimes like me, I'm visual, so I need to see the whole thing. So this inspired, of course, the platform, the heel. So we can track the design from 1400 to now.
Well, some of those earlier shoes that you showed that were on the screen with the high just platforms.
Yeah.
Was that also because of water and on the streets?
Yeah, like I say, all the design actually in the past,
functional.
They were functional. They depending on the place, the region where they were, used, people adapt them to what they need. So in that time we don't have concrete like now, so it was mud and water. So like the Oxfords, what we see right now with all those dots or holes on the shoe, that was the need in the beginning. And we had shoes from Ireland that they came from a factory that they actually produced the Oxfords. The Oxford came from England, of course, but in Ireland it was a company that actually specialized in the Oxfords, because in Ireland, of course, they need a shoe that doesn't hold, the water inside.
Doesn't hold the water, right?
So that's what they put the hole. So again,
I never knew that.
Yeah, we are researching a lot. We had a lot of paper, a lot of things to share with the people. That's why we're happy to have now. From August, by the end of August, we're going to open the research center.
That's going to be so. Do you have a date now, or? Yeah,
the exhibition. We have different memberships, but we're going to open to the public on August 19th. Mm-hmm. It's a Monday, and it's going to be open only in the afternoons, because of course we need to continue our work of researching, in the morning, and but it's going to be open, by appointment only, of course, and you have to check online, and it's a process. But the reason why is because the insurance requests that.
Oh, okay.
Because all the shoes are original, so.
Well, there's a lot of money there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been seven. I say since 2010, but it was before. But officially, I will say it's 14 years collecting shoes.
That's crazy. That's a lot of time. Yeah. When you first told me, I said, "How many shoes do you have?" And he goes, "100."
Yeah, 800. Yeah, I was even myself.
You don't mess around.
Even myself, when I go to the stores, I'm like, what am I crazy? Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but there are a few shoe museums around the world.
Yeah,
I work with the Bata Museum in Toronto, the VA in England, in the UK. We also, the Met had a great collection of shoes. But like the way that we are opening in Miami is gonna be unique in the United States and unique in the world.
Well, because of the other aspect of it.
Exactly. So it's a lot of education. I'm an educator, and I have passion for education.
Obviously.
And each shoe is gonna have the lesson plan. So I will go to schools. That's another passion that I have. When I go to schools, I have so many stories to tell, like, how kids see the reaction of kids. Where sometimes I just go and put the shoe on a table and I ask them to search. Of course, right now they have the cell phones, so they can go to Google and they can take a picture and the whole story come.
Oh, really?
And that's the idea.
Yeah.
The research center is gonna release papers so when people anywhere in the world, they can see what we do.
That's so cool.
And they can come and visit. And talk to us, and and also we had a lot of local designers and people that want to volunteer because they really want to be in touch with this kind of movement about footwear.
Yeah.
Not only sneakers, we collect sneakers as well. Sneakers is a social impact since the 1985, of course, when the Jordan was released. But the sneakers is part of what is happening in the whole world.
Yeah. It's a cultural.
It's a culture shock.
Yeah, right.
And everybody's gonna go. It's getting more comfy, with the shoes. But design, it's going back. It's coming back.
Uh-huh.
Most of the companies, what they're doing small collections, and they're dropping and releasing collections, small collections, limited edition, like every second in the world.
so that the shoes are now collectible because they're small and they're limited.
Yeah, so it's a
production.
lot of collaboration again between designers, like Zaha, the architect. Before she passed, she collaborated 5 times with different designers and different. So
Oh, is that right?
So it's a lot. It's a lot to talk.
Right. So now, what's your next step?
Oh, well, the research.
We have to get through August.
Well,
Find a date.
Right now I'm, of course, doing everything that needs to be done for the opening, and the first exhibition is going to be the highlight of the collection, which is sometimes I don't know if the space is going to be enough.
the greatest.
We're going to go.
The big hits.
Also, there's the story. The people that maybe stories that haven't been told. Or like Perugia. Andre Perugia, I mean, he was super inspirational for me.
Yeah.
He was the first one who actually worked with the no heel, so inspired, I guess, by the Chopins. But he collects information, the arts, transfer that to the shoe design. So
how do you think it is to walk on that?
Well, this I actually try on. I mean,
you did?
Yeah, and it's just. I mean, I guess the question is for Lady Gaga or the Guinness. I guess you get used to it. Like a Japanese with the Geta, the Michael shoe. They walk, you don't need to. Of course, you cannot walk the same with the sneakers or with the Chopin, but
exactly.
I guess you adapt to it because in this case, the most important part is that they need to be raised, and when the royalties, they start using the Chopin. Of course, they went all the way to 18 inches.
No.
Yeah, and all like the core with velvet, with diamonds.
So everybody would look taller.
The more and sometimes not to walk, it's just for pictures.
Oh.
So it was like a status, and
that makes
after
sense.
the pandemic, amazing that everybody were during the pandemic in flip-flops and so all the designers, the 80s came back with a platform, so all the brands they started doing platforms. Even Converse, they normally used to be kind of flat, and they went to platforms as well. So if you check all the designs after the pandemic, it was another revolution, like in the 1880s, 1918 when the pandemic hit, the Spanish flu. So the gold came after, and everybody felt like glamorous. So everything that happened in the world, it changed the design, or the design changed because I mean it's a relationship between those two aspects that
and I don't think most people think about that.
No, and that's why we're here.
Which is it's fascinating. That you can, like, the history of shoes can also give you a glimpse at the history of the world.
Totally.
And how one culture influences another. And and so now this collaboration in this research center is going to be something altogether innovative. I love it.
And it's more to come. I mean, I cannot say too many plans that we have, but we have some brands that are going to collaborate with us. They want to visit and they want to see how we can do classes, and again, because those are small collaborations, they don't know what the target is whoever right now,
right?
Because you don't know what people want to collect. And but the idea is for people to realize that those are pieces of art that you wear, and when you don't. I'm also the founder of Earth Day Miami, so I'm working with the Sneakers Impact. They recycle sneakers.
Oh yeah.
Whatever shoe, but they're more like a Sneakers Impact. So what we're doing with them, we're gonna have a box at the research center, so people can actually come and drop the shoes in there. So instead of going to the landfill, they will recycle them.
Okay.
So they're doing flooring, or they're sending to poor countries so that they don't have shoes. So it's a lot to do with the shoes.
That's a whole other project all by itself.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I'm busy, but we're gonna be more busy when we open because more things are coming.
Because you've got people coming to you now.
Yeah, and we have support. I mean, it's a great group of people that wants, that support us, and all the members that are coming are super fascinated. I mean, male, female, kids, teenagers. We're gonna have different tiers, different groups, of course, because the Space Mall. So if to compare, we're going to open soon. But it is amazing how people are getting really into the culture of footwear.
Well, and then you've got downtown, you've got the Miami-Dade College.
Yeah.
And I know they've got was it a fashion institute?
They had a
there?
fashion, yeah. Oscar Lopez is the head of that department, and we work together a lot. And I also talked to St. Thomas, all the schools, Dash, So the idea is also because it's not a career of shoe design here in Miami, in Florida. So that's where we're getting also, to get more people involved, because that's another impact that is happening. For example, eBay. Yeah. We're starting eBay as a social impact as well.
Oh,
because they, like right now, they just finished Elton John auction on eBay.
On eBay?
He was selling shoes and clothing on eBay.
Oh my goodness.
It was a great collaboration. We got actually a pair of shoes from that collection. But the idea is because right now teenagers, that they are super fan of sneakers, and if they really know what it is, the culture, they can go and get a job.
Oh, really?
As a sneakers authenticator, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So it's another career, that is coming along with the whole social impact of the sneakers that people need to know about. So we're starting all those social, things that are happening in the world.
With new niches for jobs.
And that's the idea, exactly.
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody the other day, and she was like, "What? I had a lot of students that they are super, and they know details of, okay, they can go online now and look for jobs on eBay, and they will see, those sometimes most of them are online.
Yeah.
So they don't need to be present. So, it's another venue.
Yeah.
To get revenue.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, it's fun when you find kids having a passion for any one thing.
Yeah.
But now you've given them a whole other world.
More material to think about, because they don't
yeah.
need to be a designer. So, if they want to, perfect. But also they can learn, how the process of the sole, all those things. Even the Ritz was one of the first tools created to measure.
Getting measured by
to measure the foot size, right?
Oh, there was one for wide too.
Yeah, that was the after that. So maybe with the technology, they can develop a new tool, to measure, or using AI. You name it.
I like the idea of just standing on something and make me a shoe that fits this foot, right? And that's what it may come to. Yeah,
again, technology is making everything customized, in a better way. So people are gonna sometimes, in the future or near future, you're gonna be able to actually, design your own shoe, and in 3 hours you're gonna get it. Well, it's happening already.
I bet it is.
But not in the massive, not in the way that we will see it soon.
Yeah. Well, it'll be exciting to see what happens and what comes out of your research.
Yeah, the research center, again, downtown Miami.
And how does one become a member?
Well, you can go online.
And what's the web address?
MiamiShoeMuseum.org.
MiamiShoeMuseum.org.
And you can check there the research center, and you're gonna see how to become a member. Mm-hmm. And if you wanna, wait until you see, to see something, you can buy a ticket and come, one of the days that we're gonna be open to the public. But the members are the ones that are gonna have the first choice to actually see the exhibition. So every 2 months, every 3 months, we're gonna change the exhibitions.
Yeah.
So to be able to showcase, what we're doing and what is going on inside there, and people can actually come, members can come,
right?
Of course by appointment, and they can visit, and they can request sometimes, depending on the case, some shoes that are going to be available, in a glass case,
right,
to actually, study them, and they can actually write a paper that we can publish.
Oh, that'll be nice.
They are good enough, for information. We can actually help them to publish those through the museum. So it's 19 Flagler,
19 Flagler.
Yeah, that's the building.
Yeah.
It's a 1920s building. So when you get in,
Really?
you're not getting to another time.
Yeah, really.
It's on the 6th floor. So, but check the webpage, social media. We also have the YouTube channel. So we're gonna be releasing a lot of videos about what we do. And again, I mean, it's fascinating how many people are just waiting. I mean, waiting for us to open and see.
Well, I'm so happy for you, and I applaud all your efforts.
Thank you.
What a great art instructor you must have been in Venezuela. My gracious! I bet they were sad to see you leave. You're not going to believe it, but our time is up.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated that. Again, thanks South Florida. Excuse me. Thanks South Florida PBS for providing such a wonderful resource in our community. And who knows, you may want to.
Well, they
do something with South Florida PBS.
Well, I'm a fan, so
great.
I hope they can come for the museum as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so thanks so much for coming. Until next time, have a good one. Stay safe and make a difference.